My name is Nathan Forler, and I am Nottingham. Nottingham is the road I grew up on. We moved into a house on Nottingham Ave. That's actually funny. So I was in a lot of bands in high school. I was in many bands. There was one called Beyond the Spectrum. There was one, It Starts With You. They were all like just super weird bands. It kind of all consisted of the same like 4 members, but we just kept changing the name because we hated the music that we were making. So as like a rebrand of the band, we would just change our name and be like, we're completely different. So we did that a bunch, and then I decided it is way too hard to be in a band in high school, especially because I was going to Eastwood and everyone else was going to Grand River. So we didn't have enough time to meet up and write songs. And when we did, we had like barely any time, and most of the time we just played video games a lot. So nothing got done. I decided to do a solo thing where I would just do all the music myself and I would write it all. And I couldn't think of a name because all of the names I really liked were taken by my old band. So I didn't want to rebrand as just myself. So I was like, oh hey, I'm trying to think of a name. And then I was like, Nottingham's a pretty cool name and ties in with myself. Well, I was always a vocalist. I would always sing as a kid, but I really got into music when I was in high school. I applied for Eastwood in the integrated arts program as a vocalist and a visual art major, but I didn't like the vocal classes, so I ended up dropping out, and then I went to actual vocal school, and I did that for a little bit, but mostly I am self-taught. I was really into drawing when I was younger, and I always wanted to go to Toronto to get into animation, but that didn't fall through. So I went in as a vocal major, and I really liked it. I was one of the 2 guys in my vocal class. There was me, I was a tenor, and then there was another guy who was a bass. And he had a very, very bassy voice, and I had a very high, thin voice for a guy. So they made me a tenor, and I would do all the high harmonies, and I hated it. And it was also a lot of opera-based music, so you would really have to like project. And I'm not very good at projection, except when I was in a screamo band. I was in a metal band for a while. My biggest inspiration as like writing music is just the concept of writing music. I have a lot of fun coming up with songs. I don't know if I directly get inspiration from other bands per se. I was really, really, really into Ed Sheeran when I wrote my first EP, so a lot of it kind of has that similar vibe. But mostly what inspires me to do music is just the concept of writing music. I have a lot of fun writing music. And then once I get something that's like really fun to listen to, I'll just listen to it for like 2 weeks and then get sick of it. So the way that I write songs is I kind of write a chorus first, because that's kind of the most catchy part of songs usually. So the chorus comes to me a lot easier than verses. So I usually start with just like a piece of music, and then I'll just keep building exponentially off that. In my first EP, I had a lot of synths and a lot of piano, and that was kind of how I did every song, is I would just do like a lot of synths, throw in crazy drum machines, and that would be it. This one, I'm actually trying to construct really good songs that stand alone on their own. Like you don't need all of this other instrumentation behind it. And I'm excited. These songs are coming out pretty good. My first EP, Nottingham, A Road Less Traveled, is on Bandcamp. If you just Google Nottingham, A Road Less Traveled, it'll be the first thing. And my new single, The Death of You, is on YouTube, and it's also on Bandcamp. I hope whoever's watching this likes The Death of You. I think it is one of my favorite songs I've ever written. I think musically it's the coolest I've ever written, and I hope you all like it.
He was a young boy in love with a girl. That's no fucking excuse.